Dice Tavern, Farkle Roguelike. I skipped the tutorial because I thought I was super smart. Turns out I was not. So I sat there in the first tavern playing what I thought was dice poker, wondering why my rolls were worth almost nothing. Turns out Farkle is a different game, and I probably should have looked into that first. It's Farkle Roguelike deck builder from Cavi Studio, where you weight dice, swap faces, and push a target score up a ladder of taverns. And about an hour in, I'd cleared the village tavern, got stuck on the boss of the next one, and then I had a pretty clear read on the demo. Dice poker has some of the similarities. You still score for the 3 of a kind or a straight, but outside of that, you're looking more at single ones and single fives, and those two faces do most of the work early on. Once I stopped thinking in pairs and full houses and started thinking in ones and fives, my rolls started paying out. At this point, you have a target hit. Every turn you roll 6 dice, pick up the ones you want to score, and knock them to the side. Then you decide to bank the turn's score for the round, or hit score and reroll, and try and add more with the dice you haven't locked. If that next roll gives you nothing that scores, you're farkled. Not sure that's how you pronounce it, but I enjoy saying it. And the turn's bank points go with it. You only get so many rounds to hit the target for each opponent, so the whole push your luck rhythm sits underneath the roguelike shell. Rounds pay out gold, and gold goes into the shop between matches. This is where most of my thinking was happening. There's one shop die that made ones and fives more likely to roll, another had certain numbers removed off the die entirely, and some faces that never score for when you were just gone. You can add a weight to the dice so a chosen face comes up more often, and you can only have 6 dice active at a time, so building your set is as much about swapping worse dice out as it is buying new ones. The deck builder shape is here, just in dice, not cards. On top of the dice, there are badges giving you multiplier effects. I picked up one that doubled my score when 2 of my scoring dice were showing different faces, and once I was in play, scoring all of my valid dice was often worse than scoring just some of them. So sometimes you're better off using fewer of your scoring dice than all of them, and that's the moment the synergies start to show, and you start trying to be a bit clever about it. Sitting on a match thinking about whether to take the 2 5s and roll again, or lock in a single 5 with a multiplier in mind. You move up the ladder of taverns, from farmers and shepherds in the village to something more city flavoured on the next floor. Higher targets, fewer rounds, and in some matches, specials on the opponents. Normally, getting farkled just means you lose that roll because you don't score anything. Others had it that you'd lose points on top of that. One of the boss variants took a chunk off my total score every time I got farkled, not just the turn. I didn't really pay attention to the flavour text on the way through because it didn't seem to matter. The opponent rules were where the change mattered. Here's where the maybe comes from. My biggest problem with it is the look. It's trying to go tavernish with an old school medieval tavern feel, but with a bit of a funky futuristic vibe on top of it I couldn't quite place. It just doesn't look very good to me, and the feedback around scoring and rolling is thin. Dice games where you're doing maths through the whole thing to chase a bigger and bigger number already pretty low dopamine. If the loop of dice doesn't hook you on its own, you need the rest of the presentation to be exciting to keep you at the table, and this demo just isn't doing that. The demo is live now on the Steam page, and the full game is planned for Q3 of 2026. My verdict is a maybe. The dice mods, the scoring, fewer dice trick, and the push versus bank rhythm all worked for me, and the shape of it is closer to Balattro's Synergy Chase than the standard dice roguelike. What kept it off a play is the look and the feedback. They don't do enough for the whole work on this maths heavy loop needs from the rest of the game. Check out the next video to see if it could be your new favourite game. I play the demos, you play the hits. I'll see you on the next one.